So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the practical implementation of dynamic memory allocation. I'm going to show you that how the four functions of dynamic memory allocation can be implemented. So I'm going to show you the program and I'm going to write the code. So first of all, right now I am inside my IDE and I have opened one source file. Now inside this source file, I have to write include stdio.h, then include stdlib.h. So this file is necessary in order to access the dynamic memory allocation functions, because the definition of those four functions reside in this header file, right? So it is mandatory to write this. Now after that it is int main, and here inside int main I'm going to write return 0, right? Now what I want to write a program in which I'm going to add numbers. So I'm going to add some random numbers entered by user. So whatever number entered by user, I want to add them, but by using or by allocating the block dynamically. So for that I am taking int n. So n is the size of block which will be allocated. So suppose n is the number of elements. So suppose I want n extra element, then I need n into size of integer size block, right? So suppose n is 4, I need 4 into 4, that is 16 byte block. So n is number of element. Then after I'm taking I, which is loop variable, so I'm going to use loop, so that's why I've taken I. Then there is sum equal to 0, because I'm going to find the summation of those those numbers which is entered by user. Initially it is 0. And last but not the least, I am going to declare one pointer ptr. So here ptr is the pointer. So it is the pointer which will be used in the syntax of dynamic memory allocation functions, the syntax that I have shown you in the theoretical portion of this chapter. So now what I am going to do, first of all I would like to print enter the number of elements, right? Enter the number of elements. And how user can enter? Using scanf %d and n, right? Now I'm going to talk about ptr equal to, inside the brackets int star, then malloc. I'm going to use malloc. Now inside this I'm writing n into size of int, right? So whatever value entered by user n will be multiplied with the size of integer, and that block will be assigned, and this pointer will return the address of this newly assigned block. So this pointer will carry the address of this newly assigned block. Now if there exists, if there is not sufficient space to hold the long block, then the pointer will return null. So the null pointer, that means the value of pointer returned as null, that means there is no block assigned, that means no extra memory assigned dynamically. So I am going to check this condition. If ptr equal to null, that means printf /n error occurred, right? So error occurred when the pointer returns null, and exit 0. So exit 0 will just come out of the program execution will stop executing. So this is the case if the error occurs and no block is assigned using this sign. But what if the block is assigned, the value of pointer will not be null? In that case, I'm going to run the loop for I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, right? I'm gonna start with 0 up to n. I'm going to add how scanf percentage d, here it will be PTR, or you can say address of PTR is nothing but the address, right? So you can say PTR plus I. So the value will be added to 0, PTR plus 0 for this is kind of pointer addition. So if you don't understand this term, please go to the scale factor of pointers, where if I'm adding 0 over here, it will add pointer plus 0. If I'm adding 1 over here, it will add pointer, that is address. PTR is nothing but the address, right? So address plus size of one element, that is 4. So 4 will be added actually. If I is 2, it will add 2 into 4, that is 8 to the original PTR value, right? And now I'm going to do sum equal to initial sum plus value at PTR plus I. Whatever value stored at PTR plus I. So whatever value stored at this address will be added, right? And at the end of this, I'm going to printf /n. The sum is percentage d, and here sum will be printed. And once my program, my program executes, I don't want to take that extra memory, so I'm just freeing up that extra memory by using free pointer, right? Let me save this program, and if I compile it and run it, it is showing me an error that ssum is have been written by me, which is wrong. Now again, if I save the program, compile it and run it, it is running, without any error. Now if I'm entering 4, that means I want to add 4 elements. So now I'm entering 1, 4, then 2, and then 5. So the sum is 12. Can you see 5 plus 2, that is 7, plus 1, that is 8, plus 4, that is 12. So by using this dynamic memory allocation, I have assigned a block which can hold up to 4 elements, and then I'm going to sum up those elements without using an array. So basically we are assigning the array of 4 bytes, because here the memory will be allocated contiguously, right? So first element will be stored at some address. So let me show you without using array. If I show you printf /n, the value stored at percentage u, and here it will be PTR plus I, right? So let me save this program, compile it and run it. So here 4 elements are there, values stored at this location. Let me do one thing. After this also, I'm going to put /n. Let me save it again, compile it and run it. So for 4 elements, value stored at this location will be 1, at this location will be 4, at this location it will be 3, and for this location it will be 5. You can see answer is 13. Let me calculate 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. So without using array, it is storing the value in contiguous memory location. It is assigning the value, at contiguous location, right? So this is how, and at the end I'm using free, so it will free the pointer. Now how can you use calloc? Calloc is nothing but, you can just use calloc by writing or replacing malloc with calloc, and it will allocate contiguous memory as well. But for calloc, each block contains the value 0. In case of malloc, the default initial value was garbage value, but in case of calloc it will be 0. So let me save this program, compile it and run it. It is showing me an error. What the error is? The error is too few arguments function void calloc size and size. So we have to give So what was the syntax of Kellogg's? In syntax of Kellogg's, I'm going to show the number of elements that I'm going to add and the size of that elements, right? Size of the block that I want. So here I'm entering 4, that means 4 byte of memory allocation. So value stored at this location will be 1, value stored at this location will be say 4, this location will be 5 and this location will be 2, so the answer is 10. But make sure that you understand the syntax of malloc and callop, what is the difference between them. And here in callop I have to declare explicitly that what is the number of elements. Even if you are hovering over this, you can see that yellow pop-up over there. You can see that yellow pop-up which is showing that after pointer callop size t, it is number of elements and then comma and then size of number of elements. So what is the number of elements and how much size it will occupy, we have to declare both as argument in this function. So this is how you can use callop function. Now I will show you, and we have already covered malloc, callop and free function. Now I am going to show you that how can you use realloc function. One more thing that I want to talk about is instead of add into size of int, we can also use just size of int over here. Let me save this program and let me show you that here for 5 I am entering 1, 4, 2, 4 and 4, right? So the answer is 15. Let me take 4 plus 4, 8 and then 10 and then 14 and then 15, right? So here you can see we can do this. So this is the syntax for callop. Now I'm going to show you the code for realloc. So let me just erase the extra code. So I'm just erasing the code from, let me just erase everything and I'll show you the new program. So for realloc, I'm starting from the scratch. So for that I have to first write include stdio dot h include stdlib dot h, then int main and then return 0, which is common to all programs. Now to reallocate the memory, first we have to allocate the memory. So you can either use malloc or you can also use callop. I'm going to use malloc. So first I have to declare one integer pointer ptr to hold the address of the newly allocated block, then size n1 which is the old size of a block, and then size n2 which is the new size of a block, and I is the loop variable. Right, now I'm simply printing printf enter the old size of the block, right? So old size of the block will be added by user. So for that I'm using scanf %d and n1, right? Now what I'm going to show you for, so first I have to allocate the block, right? So for that I'm writing ptr equal to int star, which is the syntax and you have to remember it, and then and into, or say n1 into size of int, right? So this is the syntax for malloc, we have already seen. Now at this stage the newly allocated block, the new block will be allocated. Now I'm going to print the address of that block. So for that I'm starting with I equal to 0, I is less than n1, I plus plus, and here inside this I'm going to print the address is %d and %u, sorry, and here it will be ptr plus I. So address of each element will be printed, and here I'm going to print printf /n previously allocated block addresses, right? So previously allocated block addresses will be printed over here by using this statement, and here /n, right? Now I want to take value for the new size. So for that I'm just copying the statement and pasting it over here. Here it will be 2 and here it will be new size of the block, right? So user will be added, the new size will be added by the user. Now I'm going to show you that how you can reallocate. So the syntax of reallocate is reallocate, then PTR. So what pointers? Pointer P is pointing to some block and you want to change the size of that block. So that's why you have to first mention that pointer, and then after you can say that N2 into size of int, right? So this is for reallocate. Now for reallocate, new block will be given to my older block. So instead of older block, now new memory allocation is being done. After that, I'm going to print the same addresses. So for this new block, I'm going to write and newly allocated block addresses, which will go up to N2. The address is this. So let me save this program and compile it to check if it is having any error. No, it is not having any error. So now I can run the program. So enter the old size of the block. So first of all, I want to enter the size 5, right? So you can see it will be starting from 48 till 64, right? Then till 64 here. Then it is asking me to enter the size of the second block. Now second block size I am adding as 25. So I want a block which can hold up to 25 elements. So you can see it is starting with 48 only, but it will go up to 44, right? So here what happened, after this 64 in my system there exists some spaces, so it is just continuously allocating that. If in case my system does not contain the size to hold this much element, it may happen that in your case it is giving some different addresses starting from some random number up to this, right, which can hold up to 25 elements. So this is the result. You can see now it is holding up to this much numbers. So here I have just printed the addresses. I have not taken numbers from users. I have just printed the address of the memory. So this is how you can use malloc, calloc, reloc and free. Now, right now we are not having any more programs to use this kind of memory allocation. But as I have told you that in your higher semester studies, when you are studying data structures, at that time you will be performing the practical of linked list. At that time you have to dynamically allocate the arrays and memories. At that time you are going to use these functions and you will remember me. So that's all for today. I hope you understand this concept and enjoy this class. If you have any doubt, you can comment below the comment section and ask me. See you in the next class with the last chapter. Thank you so much.